Crisis averted. Maryland survives in overtime after wasting 22-point lead at Illinois. Champaign, Ill. Maryland guard Anthony Cowan Jr. stepped to the line with 0.6 of a second remaining in overtime Sunday night against Illinois, needing to make just one shot to save Maryland from a potentially historic implosion. A couple of misses in this situation, with the game tied and fans at State Farm Arena screaming their lungs out, were not out of the realm of possibility. Not on a night when Maryland blew a 22-point lead in the second half. Not on a night when it committed 25 turnovers and remarkably called its last timeout with more than 5 minutes remaining. Not on a night when freshman Bruno Fernando tipped an offensive rebound in to force the extra period with less than 1 second remaining in regulation. But Cowan didn't miss. He connected on the first one and shrugged at his bench. No sweat. He even missed the second one purposely, and after the Fighting Illini didn't get a shot off before the buzzer, Maryland coach Mark Turgeon exhaled and looked up at the scoreboard, Maryland 92, Illinois 91. It was as if he needed to confirm it with his own eyes. Cowan finished with a career-high 27 points and 6 assists, while sophomore Justin Jackson pulled himself out of his week-long slump and scored 20 on 8 for 13 shooting. Both of those players hit crucial shots in overtime, as did fellow sophomore Kevin Huerter, who nailed a three-pointer with 39 seconds left to make it 91-89. Illinois tied it with a layup by Markel Stork with 17 seconds left, and Cowan walked the ball up before driving the lane and drawing a foul on Al Stork with less than a second remaining to set up the winning free throw. Just 48 hours after losing its Big Ten opener at home against Purdue, Maryland, 7-3, 1-1 Big Ten, was desperate Sunday night. It had lost 3 of its past 4 and couldn't afford to drop to 0-2 in the league. It had traveled roughly 3,300 miles over the past 10 days, playing 5 games in 4 states, and a loss at the end of that exhausting stretch would have sank morale. Cowan was sensational in the first half, scoring 16 points on 6 for 8 shooting as Maryland shot 73% from the field in the first 20 minutes. It began with the kind of defensive effort that was missing in the early stages of the loss to Purdue. Maryland forced 5 turnovers within the first 4 minutes and scored the game's first 10 points. Each time Cowan scored in the first half, he looked over his shoulder and cracked a devilish smile at his bench. He did it at least 6 times. After each of his 3 three-pointers and after each of his 3 acrobatic finishes in the lane. Illinois student section tried to heckle him enough to wipe the smirk off his face, but that only seemed to embolden Cowan and his teammates as they used a 17-2 run to build a 45-26 halftime lead. But the smiles disappeared in the second half. Maryland once again was haunted by ball security issues. The Terps committed 7 turnovers in the first half, and their self-destructive habits caught up to them in the second half, a problem compounded by several scoring droughts. Maryland led 52-30 with 17:27 left in the game. That cushion quickly deflated. Turgeon tried to stop each Illinois push with timeouts. That included after an 8-0 run that took just 58 seconds and pulled Illinois, 6-3, 0-2, within 63-57 with just over 10 minutes remaining. By the time Turgeon used his final timeout in regulation with 5:27 left, Illinois was within 67-63. Illinois tied the game at 69 with a pair of free throws by Aaron Jordan with 4:03 remaining. Maryland freshman Daryl Morcell's layup gave Maryland the lead again, but Illinois quickly countered and got a quick layup from Kipper Nichols to knot the game at 71 with just under 3 minutes to play. Maryland retook the lead after Jackson barreled into the lane and beat the shot clock with a runner to make it 73-71. But Illinois regained the advantage with a three-pointer from Al Stork on the next possession with 1:51 remaining and wouldn't need a field goal the rest of the way. That was because Maryland simply couldn't take care of the ball. The Terrapins committed 4 turnovers over the next 136, including 2 apiece from Cowan and Huerter. Yet Maryland still had a chance after Illinois tried to throw the ball the length of the floor on an inbound play with 4 seconds left. The ball sailed out of bounds, and Turgeon quickly called for a play. Herter quickly attempted a three-pointer in the corner, and after it clanked off the rim, Fernando tipped the ball in with one hand to tie the game at 75 with less than 1 second left.